Brosplay!
I get the feeling we're fighting 3 or 4 different wars here.
I don't.
Yeah, I don't. It's all one big war. Life is just a series of wars.
Is that true?
No, it's a Scooby Spip line.
Oh, I guess there's.
It made me realize life is just a series of wars. That's the worst accent. I'm really sorry about that.
What's the song?
That's Angles.
Angles.
That's what the kid says before he kills himself. Spoiler alert.
Wow.
Do you have to do spoiler alerts for songs? yeah, okay. Maybe I think that's a good rule of thumb.
Thanks.
Yeah, maybe.
I would say, like, I've heard spoilers before about things I've never heard of, and then I go, like, by the time I check it out, I don't even know, like, the context of that spoiler.
Yeah, the brain is not powerful enough to remember a spoiler like that.
Darth Vader is Luke's father, sorry.
What are you doing?
Pi is exactly 3.
What are you doing, buddy?
That's not a spoiler.
Oh, it's
these
Chinese
Oh,
roadblock.
these are the Chinese, yeah.
Shit. Sorry, bro.
What was it? Oh, you're supposed to blow them up. Okay.
Yeah. Just take out these tents.
This is a really cool demonstration. Wow.
Wow,
of
they're really
physics.
not happy with me.
This is a great demonstration of being in a war zone where several countries are all there,
Have investment, yeah.
and how difficult it is to do something for one without making the other unhappy.
There's a lot of great commentaries in this game.
But yeah, the reporter, the way that the whole thing is done, like the story is done through the lens of a reporter's eyes.
Because that's all you see.
Yeah.
You don't get to see this perspective of war. You only see the what?
So he's done.
Yeah, he's like, oh, I'm not going that far.
Yeah.
I'm not going to another roadblock with you.
I don't know. I was gonna make a joke, but I don't really like accent humor in this context.
You also have to, wow. You have to be really good at an accent to pull off good accent humor.
Well, the
Like, if you
accents I
can't-
like to do are the ones where it's not obvious what I'm trying to do. That way, it's like up in the air. But if I do if I try to do the voice of a Chinese guy, then it's like,
Yeah, and if you do it wrong, and you do it very poorly.
yeah.
You know what? Maybe I should get a tank.
Like in real life,
I would love a
can you
tank.
afford that?
I would just drive a tank over here, just park it right over your fucking neighbor who always parks really close to your spot.
They do, don't they?
Just park it right on top of his car.
They're very, yeah.
You know, right in your spot, and like half the tank in your spot, and the other tread right down his like center console.
In fairness, I don't use that spot because I don't have a car.
Yeah, I get why they do it. They also probably don't even know I'm here.
No.
Because I only come for a couple hours at a time, and
Yeah.
their car doesn't leave, so they, you know, I don't
Yeah.
blame them
I do.
for using your empty spot.
Yes.
It's not even like they're using it; they're just close to it.
That's like stealing something from someone that they don't notice is missing. It's like, well, I guess it's okay. No, it's not. It's theirs.
Well, realistically, though, they're instead of being 6 to 8 inches from the edge, they're 4 inches from the edge. It's not like they're.
That's a lot of inches, brother. Marriages have ended over those inches.
Marriages have ended over 4 inches. That's not a surprising thing. Oh, you know
Not just
what?
in the air.
You know what? You know what? I really hope this hurts the tents. The fact that the gun doesn't hurt buildings has really been pissing me off.
Is that another faction?
The
tents?
Quickly!
Over the hill, the tents! They're coming!
The tents are on their way!
It's like the Huns.
The Huns lived in tents. I see we can call them the tents.
I don't know if those are tents.
Yeah.
I think those were rigid, conal, tanned. I don't know. I'm trying to make something up.
Those were teepees.
Teepees?
Yeah, teepees.
Okay, I didn't know if that was an offensive term. I never know anymore these days. Everything's offensive now. Everybody's all super excited about getting offended. They're like, yes, green light, go. Green means go.
Are you ready to get offended? I'm ready to get offended.
I'm ready.
So apparently there was an incident at...
An incident. I love it when it's called that.
I don't think that's what they called it, but that's what
Oh,
I'm calling
okay.
it. I just don't know what to say. But this guy from a university of some sort or an post-secondary education institute, and he was speaking in front of a group of students, and so the students started saying, like, stop moving your hands like that. It's a microaggression.
What?
Yeah, and they kept saying it. Like, they wouldn't they wouldn't stop saying it. So then he puts his hands down, and then they start laughing at him for putting his hands down, for complying.
What?
Yeah.
The fuck?
Yeah, exactly. It's just gross.
It is gross.
Yeah, and it's unfortunate because I feel like the people who are the worst perpetrators are all very much my age.
Yeah.
You know, and a little younger, like all in that kind of era. So to me, it just feels like, God damn, people, like, can't we do better than this?
I don't know, man. I think like when I was a kid, I was an asshole, but I understood it. I knew what I was doing. I just didn't care enough because I was young. I don't like saying that, like, oh, they don't get it. Like, they're too young to get it. Like, you just haven't had enough experience, I guess. Maybe, I don't know.
Well, I guess I don't mean that they're too young to understand what they're doing. It's the fact that they're my age, and we're supposed to be this group of people that's like looking forward to building the future.
Yeah.
But it doesn't feel like we're building anything. It feels like we're tearing down everything that was. Which I understand that. Sometimes you do have to tear down what was there to build something new, right?
It seems like it's like for the sake of doing it is what it feels like it's happening right now.
It really is. It's for the sake of self more than it's for the sake of whatever they say it is, right? It's for, like, I want to make you, like, speak the way I want you to speak.
Yeah.
Whereas it's not like I'm trying to protect somebody. I'm trying to, like, you can't, if those words are gonna hurt you, if those words are gonna hurt you, you are inherently unprotectable.
Which words?
Any words.
Oh, right.
If words are gonna hurt you, you are virtually impossible to protect.
Well, yeah, you give them power when you cower.
All I really want to do is face these fucking cowards. Okay, that was bad. I really should not have given up the helicopter. My bad.
Did you need to switch weapons there, like when you, because you switched weapons before you shot him, and that was the time you needed to leave?
I know. I was trying to blow him up with the RPG.
Oh yeah.
So it seemed like a clever strategy at the time, but the plane is just so nimble. He doesn't even. He seems to be like leaving.
Yeah, he doesn't seem interested in fighting you.
Which is perfect for me.
I guess.
And all these guys are coming out of them with RPGs in their hands.
But then where's the RPGs when you blow it up?
Well, there's already like 4 guys that come out. There's like way more RPGs than I can even shoot.
Steal it back. Steal it back. Steal it!
Oh, I don't think I need it.
Yeah, but you might as well have it. It's a good transport.
That's true.
I
See,
know
it's too
true.
nimble.
I only speak the truth, brother.
It's too fucking nimble.
Unlike Godsmack.
Speak the truth. Or make your peace some other way.
Doesn't he say something like, I believe that you trusted me? Whoa!
Oh, dude. Oh, he didn't blow himself up, though.
Explosion of boxes is what I like to do. I was talking to a guy yesterday, and he knows that we do this show, but like most people that I tell, like, they don't really get it.
Doesn't know much about it.
Yeah, and he's got a young kid, and he's like his son's really into the gamers on YouTube, and I'm like, oh yeah, like they play
Let's
games,
Play.
and he's like, yeah, and he's like, I don't get it. He's like, what? Why do the kids like that? Like, he's like, you should know, like you're, and I'm like, dude, like, we do the show because we like it, not because I want to watch it.
I
Like,
can't tell you what what it is. One of my favorites is there's I don't think it's Cyanide and Happiness, but it reminds me of it always.
It is definitely, yeah, I've seen that.
And the one guy says, I just got laid out.
He just got lit up.
And the one guy says, what are you doing? And he says, oh, I'm watching Let's Play. And he's like, and you don't even get to play the game? Like, that seems kind of silly.
Yeah.
And then he goes and he flicks on the sports game.
Yeah.
And it's, you know, it's an age-old point. That's been made since, like, day one.
Pretty much,
right?
yeah.
But I think you said it right. It doesn't matter
It's not up to us.
why they listen. Yeah, they
You'll have to
listen
ask
because, yeah, you will have to ask them there.
Yeah.
That's the way to put it, because sure, we could pretend that we know exactly what it is that our content does for people, but what our content does for me, what it does for you, and what it does for our dad are all different things.
Totally, yeah.
So it's only makes sense to me that everyone's is going to be a little different.
Yeah, well, there are a couple, like, reasons I can come up with that people could be watching it for, but to say that's one, I couldn't say. But you got, well, some people don't have the game, and they just really want to play it, but they can't, so they watch someone else play it. Some people use it as a walkthrough. Some enjoy it for they want company. It's not really important what's happening. They just want to feel like they're hanging out with someone.
Yeah, well, they also have to remember, for some people, like for me, there are no spare minutes. There's no like, hey, I got to kill some time. My day is jam-packed start to finish. So for me to take time out to watch a Let's Play show seems ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
But for someone who, 4 or 5 hours a night, they don't, like, I'm done dinner, I'm done work, I'm just chilling until the next work day.
Yeah.
It makes way more sense. And like you said, it's companionship. The people who are listening to this conversation are people who, for some reason, enjoy what we do, whether they think it's entertaining or they, feel like it makes someone else feel like they're in the room.
Some people are actually dealing with very serious issues in their life, and they're just here because this is like a safe place. Not a safe space, a safe place. Like it's their happy place, right? Like I've been through so many like bad places mentally throughout my life, and the things that have got me through have been different. All like at some points it was music. One point, like Hemlock Grove and Walking Dead really spoke to me, because they were like dark and dreary, and I think maybe that's how I felt. So I I connected with the message of these like horrible, isolated. That's actually the intent. The Eli Roth, the director, his intent with Hemlock Grove was to make the show feel like everyone was isolated by intentionally putting people in these shots where there's like the character is down the bottom right corner and the rest of the screen is filled with nothing, like things like that. So it worked for me because I felt isolated,
and so you related to that in the characters and the show.
And then
interesting.
Game Grumps. I've been watching Game Grumps for more than 2 years. Always different reasons. Now it's more entertainment than anything, but at the beginning it was like companionship. It was like feeling safe. At the end of the day, like a shitty day, you just go home and just listen to these dudes having a good time. And the truth is, they're having bad times too because they're people. So the experience you're getting from the show is like this. It's like what filters to the top of their life is like just those moments that go on to the show.
The highlights.
And the same thing happens here. We don't really discuss our serious issues in life because it's not important to the show.
Yeah, it gets it does get in the way a little bit.
Real life, yeah.
Yeah.
We just had like a almost 2-week space between recordings.
Yeah, that was pretty intense.
I canceled Thursday, and then you canceled Tuesday, Thursday. Yeah, so it was almost 2 weeks.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I was traveling down to Whitby. Do you know where Whitby is?
Yeah.
I mean, people don't know where we live, and they probably don't know where Whitby is either. But suffice to say,
it's decent.
it is 2 hours away.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, so
Way to narrow down our location, brother.
within 2 hours of a city people haven't heard of.
Cross-referencing. You're going to cross-reference it, brother. They're going to figure it
So-
out. They're going to backtrace it.
Yeah, we're like, we're an hour from here, and we're 2 hours from there, and I mean, so this is where they gotta be. I've tracked it backwards, man.
We could just be
Triangulated them.
We could just be telling you the wrong information. Like,
Yeah, exactly.
It
We
might
can't-
feel like 3 hours.
No one's ever heard of a place called Whitby. We just thought that would be like a good town name.
That's where Protest the Hero started.
Really?
Yeah, man.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So I've been traveling there because my boss is there, and I submitted the first report I ever wrote at work, actually. Like I just did yesterday, Friday.
Really?
Yeah, we submitted it. So
Congratulations.
thank you. But so I traveled to Whitby every day for 5 days. So that's 20 hours worth of commuting, traveling.
That's nuts.
Fortunately for me, because of the field I work in and just like the way our business is, I got paid for that,
Yeah.
right? To do the drive.
That's fantastic, dude.
So that means last week I worked 66 hours.
Oh, you're like billable hours, I guess. essentially,
Exactly.
right?
20 of those was driving, but yeah, I had 66
Dude,
hours.
The time you spent driving in the last week, I've spent playing Breath of the Wild.
Well, that makes me feel better.
And the game is a lot of like endless traveling, so it's a similar experience, except I got to open more chests.
Yes, you did.
I got to hear ba a lot more often than you.
Yeah, I don't think I heard that once.
No,
As much as I would love it if my boss...
no
Actually,
one
you know
pulled
what?
you over and they were like, "Excuse me, sir, would you like this soldier's broadsword?"
That is a lie. You know the...
Is that his ringtone?
Not my boss, but one of the guys I was working with. Yeah,
That's awesome.
the sound at the beginning of the second Star Bomb thing, the like the second Star Bomb Link song. You definitely know it. It's sort of, it's like the Triforce pieces all settled down.
Yes.
And it's like a harp.
No, that's the chest opening sound.
Yeah.
Um.
It's something like that. But I pretty much guarantee it's the start of the second
Yeah, it doesn't
Legend of
me.
Zelda song by Starbomb. Anyways, that's his ringtone. So every time I heard it in the next cubicle over, it was always hilarious because I know exactly where that's from.
Yeah.
And so my boss, I forget what I mentioned to him, but I'm like a very neat person. I'm very meticulous about stuff. And he's like, yeah, you know, you're a bit of a geek. Like, it's true.
Sure.
It's true. I mean, well, I'm very much like him, you know, like when you're into rocks, you're a geek. There's no two ways about that one, pretty much. Rocks.
Oh,
Right?
yeah.
I'm a geologist, so
Yeah.
like you're a bit of a geek, like just by default. And he goes, it's okay. Eric is like the massive geek. And I'm like, yeah, I've noticed. And he's like, did he ever tell you like what he does in his spare time? And I said, I think so. I think he just told me he plays games. He's like, yeah, that's what he does. That's his two great passions, rocks and games.
Rocks and games.
Well, I say rocks, but really it's just like anything ground related. So like
That was going to
soil.
be really cool if you were going to say that he does a Let's Play show.
That would have been pretty sweet. But he would probably be in the same boat as me where you don't necessarily want people to know you do a Let's Play show because then people can just go and freely listen to your ideas.
Oh, yeah. I actually felt really weird
Hmm.
even talking about it yesterday with the dude because we were pretty close to other people.
I wouldn't, I don't know. I was going to say I wouldn't care, but I clearly do because I'm not telling people. Like,
part of
like
it
my
is,
girlfriend's parents don't know,
Yeah.
right? I would say for obvious reasons. Maybe it's not that obvious. But it's like we were always saying, people can totally take your words out of context. And I have to imagine that if I tell someone, oh, I have a Let's Play show, they're just going to flick on an episode. They're not going to listen to 20 episodes to figure out what you and me have on our brains.
No, they're going to hear like one dumb thing that one of us says and they're going to be like, well, these fucking idiots.
Yeah, like, oh, I can't believe this is what you do on your Let's Play show? You talk about all of these, like, really sensitive topics? It's like, no, that episode we did. Yeah!
No,
Whoa.
this is what we do.
Yeah.
If you're going to show somebody what we're all about, episode, what are we on? This is 41?
40, I think.
40?
Yeah, because we
Good
did
for
38
us.
and
Holy
39.
shit.
I think
That's
this is
the
40.
longest running series we've ever had on the show.
It's the longest playtime we've ever had on a game.
100%, yeah. I'm surprised we've got this far.
Part of it is I've been trying to do the optional parts of every mission, which is probably like a fuck up on my part. We've probably spent hours playing, and people are like, just go to the objective!
It's one of those things that you might, like, we might miss this, you know? Like
Yeah,
the
when it's
game
over.
is so consistent, and it's goofy as fuck, and, like, we have this new thing where, I mean, we of course, because we're geeks, we make a video game joke out of it, but I call it, we put a playthrough on cooldown. So if we feel like we've played too much of a game on the show, we just say, okay, let's take, like, 2 or 3 sessions of a break from that game, because we want people to watch this. Like, the intent is for you to watch this show or these playthroughs in a row, or at least somewhat in a row. So the energy and the interest level needs to remain the same. So if you can feel like we're not interested in the game, then it doesn't feel good to watch. While as we can take a 2-month break from a game, and then the way that things upload, you might actually watch an episode, and then the next one was recorded 2 months later, but it only came out 2 days after.
Or the next day.
And
Because we release...
Yeah. Oh, that's true. The Friday, Saturday, yeah.
I just think that it doesn't matter to people if our energy goes up suddenly, but it will matter to people if our energy continues to drop.
Slowly, yeah.
Right? Because people will notice that. They'll just be disinterested. But if all of a sudden one episode we're just like, hey, guys, how's it going? Like, we haven't been to this game in a while. But it's not going to bother you.
Yeah, the if you're ever doing Let's Plays, just always remember the game affects everything. Like it's I mean, it's like the difference between.
But it's also not the only thing.
Well, yeah, it's like the difference between a conversation that you have with the same person is going to be different in different circumstances. Like we don't get these conversations very often, even when it's just you and I, because we're distracted. This is like we're so focused. We don't pay attention to our phones. We're all in this. But it's like there's sometimes where I think like, oh, I don't know if this is going very well because it's not our usual thing. But this game, for example, almost always turns into a podcast because there's so little to discuss anymore. Like we've gone over so much of what you can talk about as far as the game goes.
Yeah, like everyone knows this place is brown.
Yeah,
Everyone knows there's these weird bridge things. At this point, it's mostly very unusual stuff. Whoa, bonus added. Bonus, I got an email. Bonus for Sams. $50,000 for each Sam. Okay.
cool.
If they happen, they happen.
You got
We're taking out the queen of the hearts. Taking out the queen of hearts.
Yeah, you knew exactly.
Knowing where to start. Yeah, I saw your body just like tense
He's like,
a little
get
bit.
ready. I was like,
I knew
oh
exactly,
yes.
yeah.
I had to process it. I'm like, did he actually just say that?
Yeah. Because at first I thought it was a different queen. I was like, nah, it couldn't be the queen of hearts. Fuck.
But the important thing is that when you're, if you
fuck.
feel like
Sorry.
if you feel like a game, if you feel like like the energy was different than something else, it may be the game. Experiment, try new things.
Ooh, that's a good point. It may be the game.
Like, don't take it's the exact opposite approach of drugs. Go with what you know and what your parents give you, and don't ask questions.
Go with what you know and what your parents give you.
Like when your parents give you drugs, like
What?
yeah, just take them.
If mama and dad approved it.
Hey,
Oh,
you
no,
got
that
it
was
from
not
a
good.
store. It can't be bad for you.
Can't be bad for you. Why can't I lock onto this thing?
That's an anti-air rocket.
Yeah, but
Oh no, it's a ground. Oh, there you go. I mean, I know we've talked about
Shit.
We've talked about wow. We talked about misinterpretation in the past and how like chasing it is not a good idea. But don't just take drugs without asking questions, please. Think. Even simple ones are not like you can't just pop Tylenol all day and be okay. Like everything that you put in your body has an effect on your body.
Also, everything's a drug. Sugar's a drug.
It's all drugs, yeah.
I'm a drug.
Fucking drugs.
Are you guys high on me?
Whoa.
Huh, that was profound.
Whoa.
I just told myself I was profound. That's probably the douchiest thing
You're not allowed to say that.
No.
Other people have to say that.
Yeah, you're not. It's funny. People do not like when people float their own boat.
Yeah.
But people love to float their own boat.
Yes.
It's just one of those weird things. God's just like, you know what? We're going to make you guys simultaneously very prideful and very judgmental of prideful people.
A common thing with new employees is they say like, "Oh, I'm a really good worker," and it's like,
We'll see.
you let me decide that one.
Yeah.
Because I don't really give a fuck who you've been in the past. It's who you are now.
Yeah.
Like that's fucking great for you, man. I'm sure the people you used to work with really appreciate it. Why is it that you left the last
Yeah,
job?
why aren't you there anymore? All right, next time, dot-topped helicopter.
Yeah, it's an eraser.
Dippin' Dots helicopter.
Dippin' Dots helicopter.
Yeah. Next time, Dippin' Dots.
All right, thank you for joining us.